abilities identified.
And ready. Exposure. Undermining. Functioning.
Combatant scan.
And ready. Exposure. Undermining.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Well, despite the low probability of such an occurrence,
This is scientist Bernard Rand, sent to Horizon.
Ought to keep moving, Commander. normal rift. Normal as they can be, anyhow.
Is that plasma in its orbit?
It'll take some doing to get past it. We ought to have a look around.
This is Scientist Bernard Rand, sent to Horizon Point Station by order of the Consul, while monitoring the reconstitution.
Don't look at me. Numbers ain't in my purview.
This is very curious. Some of the science eludes me, but this equation, although incomplete, clearly has to do with the rift in the other room. What do you think, Commander?
Can't hear orders.
Investigating hostile. Transmitter down over here. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
This is the Sovereign's office, ain't it? It reeks of overcompensate. Apparently, the Sovereign solved the equation? However unlikely that seems,
I'll take it. Now we only need return to the terminal and input it. Plagiarism. sarcasm. How shameful. Yet not entirely unexpected.
through the chamber.
And we won't expire immediately like our friend here.
Proceeding to attack. Activating energy transmitter. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Strap ready if you need a house call.
Energy transmitter deployed for battlefield recharging. All we need to do next is infiltrate the Sovereign's ship, stop the console, and obtain the rift modulator. So, typical day on the job from here.
Never hurt to give the enemy more targets to shoot at, I suppose. I'll handle this. Come back and stay.
I have a fix on their weaknesses. Check your scope for combatant analysis. It is a privilege to die for the...
What did those sounds of open conflict owe to you? Come, let us coordinate. In spite of your success thus far, the hard work is not yet finished. You still need to seize the rift modulator and end the console's machinations, by force if necessary. Both the modulator and the conductor of this ill-conceived plot are on the decks above us. However, there are security protocols you will need to bypass in order to access them. Each deck has its own restrictions, and the lift can only be operated with access credentials, such as an alternate route through the engine room is viable. But there is much on this ship, it seems, is not for the eyes of the rank and file. A precision strike team meets the requirements of this mission. Indeed. I will hold position on this level to ensure you are not flanked by enemy reinforcements. Look for me once you have reached the...
To limit further damage, Commander.
If you must replace lock, please make a request. Displaying in...
Investigating hostile intentions. Energy transmitter out. I have a fix on their recoil. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Reminder, how might this unit bolster or reduce your note by...
Resorting to violence.
on down there, Deck 01? I saw an intruder alert. No. No, you're not. I'm sending an audience of troopers your way.
Next time, let one of us do the talking. We got incoming.
Target analyzed. Standing by to stupefy.
Back in my sights.
Yeah, you know, I'd really rather not deal with any of that. Can we try the elevator?
Hostilities are afoot. Check your scopes for combatant stun weapon ready, Commander. Transmitter down over here. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Little pick-me-up for you.
Combatant scans. Mobilizing. Target analyzed. Let down fire. Activating energy transmitter.
Brass back in business.
Investigating hostile intentions. I have a fix on their weaknesses. That wasn't so difficult now, was it?
Best to avoid combat if we can help it. Maybe ought to look around for some credentials? If security's this tight, the modulator must be close by. I'm mighty curious about what these scientists were up to.
Be wary. I've heard there's an intruder aboard. Ah, I suppose that could be you. Forgive me. I'm still a little addled from my last refreshment. You've been reviewing our experiments. I hope I'm not being replaced. If you wish to see the securities become awfully stringent of late, it wouldn't do to be caught unawares. That's why I've been trying to convince everyone I'm perfectly fine.
This trooper deserves a proper burial. Not this. Damn bastards.
Well, the modulator's certainly bigger than a bread box. Fortunately, the ship makes a convenient carrying case. Just need to learn how it all works together.
Ah, I was notified that you were here. Though, my fellow, what exactly was it that you needed? I'm rather short on time. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs. And mine is to keep my lab and hopefully the rest of the IRC. Raw data. Further, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing, yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. I'm gonna pretend that you did not utter that last part. But if you're even here, use this keycard on the module over there. It'll allow you to download my report and grant you access to the control deck. I hope you're able to sway him. Because if you don't, a deck up in...
Authorized visitor aboard. Do not be alarmed.
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked
Esteemed Council, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build, every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. The modulator is only effective at closing, unfortunately, the data that we originally, and we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator's...
Well, we got the schematics. This report got me asking questions. If they found rifts in deep space, where humanity supposedly ain't been, how did they form? It don't add up.
Best table that topic for now. We can't do anything with the Rift modulator yet. Not until we deal with the console. So, shall we?
Your punctuality is as commendable as ever. How did you fare in securing the rift modulator? Yet one more hindrance to overcome in this endeavor. Did you find anything else of note? Preoccupation is a flim. I have run the numbers, and should you wish to negotiate with the consul, you must be strategic. He will not react well to a direct attack on his character or methods early on. Then I look forward to watching you see. The situation is...
Ain't opposed to speaking with the man, but I'll be damn near floored if it doesn't end in a fight.
You should take this time to prepare. Replenish your supplies. Explore your environment for any advantages. Consider, and if there is anything more you need to say to me or your companions, I encourage.
The distinguished presiding bishop I might have known.
Greater numbers,
What's the matter with you? And I'll start by ridding it of trespassers like you. Such bravado is a... Tell me.
Greater trend.
It was a... I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. It's only a crime. Using the horizon points... When the matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to... Intrepid, aren't you? Our matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce... But it was not until well after her... It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future. One free of doubt and greed. I've found when most people... Listen close. Since you... That alone... Without this discovery, we may never have realized the power we now possess with the rifts. Yes. The great architect works in mysterious ways. What else can I do but what is bidden? It's your time that's... Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner seeing it carried out. Do not presume to tell me what is or isn't the truth. I was advisor to the original Sovereign. I know them. Yes, of course. I regret that he had to make such a difficult choice. So you say. But you've yet...
Madness is rarely apparent to one.
I am the... You must know that you have little chance of swaying me. I will... And what is your definition of wrong? Have you anything substantial to back such a claim? I see. Well, the man was always a cynic. I find that attitude can... The Protectorate was clearly meant to harness this power. Nothing you claim can disprove everything that points to this reality. I will not be lectured by... Certainly if you had your way, you would claim Arcadia as yours, and rewrite... No. No, Reuben would not have gone against her. He was a stalwart protector. If he even attempted to bastardize the Protectorate cause... Then we will... I swore to guide the Matriarch's line. But surely it cannot... It doesn't matter what you bring before me. I stand for... Indeed.
Proceeding to attack. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Energy transmitter deployed for battlefield recharging. Combatant scan. Energy transmitter out. Soak up the shock. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Amplificator at ready status.
Prescription filled.
Activating energy transmitter. Amplificator is charged. Where is the enemy?
If the readouts are to be believed, the rift is on the verge of destabilizing completely. But the rift modulator cannot be operated from this.
That would be suicide.
Though it may be troubling to you, this conclusion holds no uncertainty. Someone present must do this. Sometimes there is I will take the schematics back with me, and, using the processed rift data, of course, the Order will begin production of more modulators that can be operated at a safe...
That's some grim foreshadow.
Your death will not be
Great.
You know, I spent decades doing everything asked of me, and well, look at you, Commander, stepping up. Didn't reckon you had it in you.
So, in the end, the commanders sacrificed themselves to save the galaxy. No one knew their motives or thoughts in those final moments, though legends grew around this mythical agent of the Earth Directorate all the same. Thanks to the commander's quick thinking in sparing it from the Vox station's fiery crash, Paradise Island's Fairfield remained a profitable company town for Auntie's Choice. Auntie's Choice assumed control over the day-to-day workings of Matriarch's Mercy, the better to monitor their new colleagues in the Order. The monastery, however, returned to normal operation, tracking the clockwork of the grand plan. The monastery's abbot became a scapegoat for recent tragic events, having not detected Wiley's dastardly schemes. His superiors demoted him, mainly to show their corporatist allies that academics could keep their people in line too. Archivist Victor Clemens, having survived his encounter with the commander and manipulation by DeVries, ended up working as a janitor for Auntie's Choice, living a life of menial simplicity. Having died at the peace talks, Augustine DeVries' treachery was never known to the Earth Directorate. She is forever remembered as the star agent who tragically went missing during her mission. Val continued to serve the Earth Directorate faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. Despite Inez's efforts, the grafting program was restarted by a backstabbing anti-VP toward the end of the war. Inez appealed to anyone in Auntie's Choice who would listen to shut the cruel project down. Her pleas went unheeded. Tristan continued to doggedly uphold Protectorate values. With Virgil dead, no one could oppose Tristan for the rank of Supreme Arbiter. Tristan used his new role to punish even the smallest infractions harshly. He eventually became a widely feared figure within his own society. Marisol quietly fumed over her unfinished business with Anaïs Bujold at Point Obviation. She eventually passed away in her sleep, alone and full of regret. Asa finally achieved her dream of dying in a rift. All it took was a daring and blood-soaked heist of a modulator to create a rift that she then summarily leapt into. Thus Asa remained a fanatical member of the glorious dawn, spreading the truth of the rifts to her final agonized breath. With the modulator schematics shared as joint intellectual property, Auntie's Choice and the Order's partnership remained steady, despite the need for constant compromise. For a time, the Arcadia colony thrived. Ruth Bassar proceeded to interface with the archive, an agonizing process that clawed away her lifespan. The archive computed that she was mistaken to compromise with the corporatists. To advance the plan, she needed to destroy them from within. So she proceeded to do just that. She had only been using the corporation for its logistical infrastructure. Auntie herself and at least some of her top executives needed to cease existing in Arcadia, either via assassination or skip drive-assisted exile. Bassar stripped the power from the corporatists in subtle ways, until it was too late for them to stop her. Yet it remained unclear how long the Order could sustain its dominance once Ruth Bassar passed on to become one with the equation. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. When Sovereign Varric was discovered in mental refreshment, the Order and Auntie's Choice bickered over what to do with him. They ultimately decided to announce his death, while letting him live the rest of his addled until one day Amos stumbled upon the Sovereign's private quarters, and despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued, unable to die in their sacred rift after it was closed. The Glorious Dawn heeded a new calling, seeking the modulators needed to create. With its reputation tarnished by its well-publicized agreement with the Protectorate, the Earth Directorate was on its back foot in negotiations to purchase skip drives from the new leadership of Arcadia. The dangerous experimental research of Marisol's contact from Point Obviation lived on. The release of the skip drive schematics to the public domain resulted in new and exciting opportunities for independent manufacturers. However, unfortunately, the Order stepped in. Leveraging their partnership with Auntie's Choice, the Order sold rift modulators to all skip drive manufacturers for the rifts across Arcadia and beyond were soon closed. Many colonies. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate, but through it all, and to this day.
Now that you cleared Spireton, the archive is up for grabs. I suggest handing it to the faction that won't gum up its controls with Sprat Crisp grease.